his diabetes and due to cancer on March 17th. And again, we will miss him, but you know what? I feel like his spirit lives within us. Uh, it's been a few months, and I've had the opportunity to say he's here. So he does live with us. Like I said, he spent the last 50 years, he was in Arizona. He grew up in Arizona, on the south side. But I still say the reason why we're here in Mansfield, this is his home. To always remember where our roots were. He would always say, I'm going back home, which is here in Louisiana. Vernon graduated from St. Mary's High School in '76. He was a great athlete in basketball. We don't have his football. In football. And, okay, I'm going to get off track. This is my favorite picture. This was his prom picture, and I made it see. Mine too. Yes, I just had to say that. But anyway, like I said, at St. Mary's, that's where he met Mary Jane Dowsett, which is Jamie's mom. And they had 3 kids, Jamie, Leah, and Corey. You know, he loved his kids more than anything. But, and I hope you don't take this wrong, but even more so, he loved those grandkids. He had 5 grandkids. He cherished those grandkids. One thing about Vernon, and like I said, we're all here, and I felt like I was kind of like there as much as I could. One thing about him, he was all about kids. You know, that's something people didn't know. He was all about his grandkids. He loved his grandkids. He loved his kids. You know, and then when I think back on the high school days, he was like, never said no to nobody, even in his adult life. You know, the last job that he held, which he was so proud of, and I know I didn't even read this, Jamie, but he was so proud of it was with the sheriff's department, the police department. He was so proud to help people. That's who he was. You can call him and say, Vernon, I need this, Vernon, I need that. Okay, I'm here. I would call him from a long distance. Blah, 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 such and such happened. He said, sis, back it up. Those are his words to me. Back it up, sis. I got that. Things are going to be okay. That's who he was. A very, very positive person. Like I said, his main job, he was a mechanic, a skilled mechanic. But I would say, and Jamie, you can jump in if you like, I would say his last job was his heart because he liked helping people. I mean, no matter what, he enjoyed helping people. Again, he was survived by his 3 kids, his 5 grandkids, and of course he never remarried. Mary Dowsett was the love of his life. He never remarried, and that she remained his heart. The other thing that I would like to say about him before Granny, you know, she spent some time, and it's in the obituary, but she kept changing it, kept having me change it, send it to him, blah, blah, blah. But one thing I'd like to say before I go into that is I have wrote a few words about who was Vernon Vance. He was a son of Lily and Saul. He was a brother to Gwen, Vonda, myself, Rochelle. He was a grandfather. And I won't just say 5 grandkids because he had so many kids. Because everybody who met him loved him. And he was my best friend. And like I said, we talked about a lot. And we can talk about just about anything. And a lot of times I was wrong about what I said. Yes. But he'd always kick me back in the gear. And, you know, one of the things that he loved too was his Mustang. Is it 65 or 64?
65.
65 Mustang. And I remember growing up, James, you remember that Mustang? I remember growing up, I used to be, sorry, James, I used to be jealous of the car. He wouldn't let me drive it. I remember carving my name. See if it's still in there? I carved my name in the Mustang. I was like, yeah, I'm putting my name in it. But that was his heart. And he still has that Mustang. And Jamie shared with me just a couple of days ago that she has contracted someone who's actually going to rebuild it along with her. You didn't know Jamie was a mechanic too. So she'll be out there working on that Mustang as well. The other thing when I think about Vernon is the last time we were out here, it wasn't the last family reunion, but the one before that, when he was out here. And we had to set up his dialysis here. So I'm driving in the street corner. And he's like, sis, stop. I'm like, what? You know, I'm driving through Shreveport trying to get him to dialysis. He said, stop. Well, he saw a motorcycle. I don't know what they call them, the spider thing. But it was like this. And he said, pull over, pull over. So I pulled over and everything. And he said, that's what I'm going to get. I thought, yeah, right. That's what you're going to get. Yeah, we looked at it and everything. He said, that's what he's going to get. And sure enough, that was also one of his prizes. When he went back to Phoenix, he did get that spider. So as you see him in his pictures, that was one of the things that he really enjoyed doing was riding his motorcycle. I'm going to go ahead and read from Granny. You know, when a mother or a father loses their son, that's hard. You know, because they always think, or we always think, that, you know, we will go before our kids. You know, so it's been just really tough. And I'm going to read this from Granny. Now, before I do, I sit here and I look at Melvin and Mary. And I want to say to you guys, about Chris. One thing Chris told me, and that's why I'm here also, is right before he passed, we were here 2 weeks before he passed. And one thing he said was, Val promised me one thing. And I said, what is it? What is it? What is it? Because Chris and I were very close. And he said, promise me one thing. And Mary, I believe you were here when he said that. He said that you would bring our family back together. He said, we're missing something, Val. He said, we're missing something. We're missing that young generation. He said, bring our family together. So, Mary and Melvin, I am so sorry about your loss, but just know, Chris is resting well, and I'm doing what he asked me to do. We're going to come together as a family. Another young one that we lost is Lisa and Auntie. Yes. We lost Junior. We lost another cousin. So we've lost a lot of people. So now is the time for us to really pull together as a family, guys. Let's pull together as a family. Now I'm going to read this from Granny. If I can see it. A letter to my son. I said a prayer for you. I thank the Lord above for blessing me with a lifetime of your tender-hearted love. Vernon, I think of you every day. Remembering you is easy. Those special memories of you will always bring a smile to my face. I'll always remember the best times, the laughter, the way you called me Mom. And he would, you know, when he was like irritated, he'd say, Mama. Okay, the way you called me Mama. When you questioned what I was saying, and I hear your voice whispering to me, grieve not for me. So Jamie, I say to you, grieve not for him. Your dad is here in spirit, you know, and he wouldn't want us grieving for him. And you know, that's just him. Vernon, never forget that I love you. My love will never go away. I know you will walk beside me every day, unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed. Remember how much I love you. And she said, P.S., sorry, I can't be at the meeting. And that's a gospel song. I was trying to look it up. But she said, sorry, I can't be in the meeting. But she asked that I would say that, and Vernon would know what she meant. Mm-hmm. And again, he would greatly be missed. Another reflection that I have is growing up in Phoenix, the Johnsons, they were like family to us, you know. And I had spoke with Joey Johnson, and I thought, he'd already been contacted, but he was in a little shock. And he actually put this on Facebook, and I'll read that. And it's strange because very few people know Vernon's middle name, Lavoisia. But he did. He said, Vernon Lavoisia from Joseph Daniel Johnson. We always went as brothers and sisters with his family. We always called him Joey. He said Thursday, February the 26th, 2015, was the last time I spoke to my big brother Vernon. Vernon, Valerie, Velda, and Vanda have been my siblings since Papa Saul and Mama and Mother Lily Vance began caring for me while my parents worked prior to my beginning kindergarten. Vernon had just endured an amputation and asked me if he can take a rain check. So many challenges for such a wonderful man with a heart of gold, and truly a heart of gold. When Vernon was on his way to my mother's funeral, he had a flat. And this just shows you how great he was. He had a flat. So he arrived late, dripping in sweat, respiration, and everything. But he made it, you know. So every now and then, I would also see him when he was working at Costco. He would always stop what he was doing and take the time to catch up with what each one of us were doing in our lives. I'm glad that he's no longer suffering. Condolences, prayers, hugs, and love to my mother, Vance, and I don't know what that is, but to my mother, Vance. And that was from Joey Johnson, and he had attached, you know, pictures and everything else. But if anybody else want to say anything about Vernon, feel free to do so. You know, if not, just know that he lives here. You know, I was looking around and I said, okay, we got Big Mama, we got Papa, and we have Vernon. So the spirits all live in this house. And I say to all of you, thank you so much for being here. Jamie, thank you so much for coming out. I know it's not easy, but I do thank you so much for coming out. And that means a lot for coming out. And I say to the family, like I said before, we've got to continue to get together. Now, with all that, did you want to say anything, Steve? You okay? Okay. With all that being said, we are going to celebrate. Like
wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. We're not going to celebrate. We're not going to celebrate. I'm not in control here.
Yeah, Marie's standing here to the floor. Like,
oh, okay. You see that, Jamie? No, she was country girl. See what I told you?
Hey,
Jamie had pictures of him. You see what I'm telling you? Oh, you too. There you go.
We did all love Vernon, and we all miss Vernon. And this is a little token for Val, Jamie, Vonda, and Lily. It's something that me and Ree and one of our dear friends, we had made for y'all. It's just a shirt, and it says forever in our heart.
Oh,
with this picture. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. That's the shirt. Wonderful. Wonderful. And we got them because we get figured out.
I would like to say something to that.
Thank you, Jean.
I would like to say, I'm going to come around there.
Okay. This is awesome. Thank you, Ree, Ma'am, and everybody. Thanks. And this was a family reunion that he did attend.
That is wonderful.
Thank you so much.
And that is wonderful. And I would like to say something. I would like to say to the family, I am so happy. Val,
So nice.
you have done such a wonderful job. You always try to keep the family together, and you deserve your just desserts. You really do. Because, and I also want to say to our family here, we have lost a lot of loved ones since COVID. I didn't have closure with my cousin John Hensley Jr., and that's strong with me. And my cousin Chris, that's strong with me. And then my cousin Vernon, that's strong with me. And I want you all to know here that we applaud them because they are from our ancestors of Saul Vance and Katie Vance. And that's all I want to say. And
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Jane.
Val.
Thank you, Jane.
And one more. Valerie, this is for you.
Oh my goodness.
It's a flash but appreciation gift because like Jean said, you do so much for
Yes.
someone that you take time for yourself sometimes. So this is for you.
I'm gonna make sure she take time for herself. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna.
Thank you, cousin. Y'all come back and get that hug. Thank you.
Look, we're gonna have to strap her down. We're gonna have to strap her down.
Look,
to the,
thank
to
you.
the
Put
chair.
the music on, y'all.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, I know it. I was like, I want that first. Thank you. Alrighty. Anybody have anything else they wanted to say?
We love you, Val.
Thank you, Jean. Thank you so
We
much.
love you, and we love you too, Vernon. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You okay, Jean?
Yeah. Love you,
She
family.
gangster.
Jamie, we know you probably can't talk right now, but we love you.
Yeah.
And this is home for you as well. Always. Your daddy considered this home, and so this is home for you too.
Yeah.
And I'll speak on Jamie's behalf right here. Because I know it's very difficult. Like I said, it's very difficult for her losing her dad. Because
Yes.
we didn't expect
We've
it like this.
experienced it though, but
We really didn't. And Jamie has committed that she will be coming back here. She said, and she's committed to twice a year, but once a year I'll be happy. We are also going to start back up the family reunions because we think that's something that's needed. We stopped really because of COVID and everything, so we're going to get that started back up. And love you, Jamie, and thank you for being here. Okay, let's start the music, y'all. Oh, sorry.
All right. That's that advance in us.